What's up guys, today I'm going to be showing you my favorite Destiny 2 Warlock subclass, and going into this video I really didn't know which one it would be. So this video served two purposes, not only showing you guys the best subclass and what my favorite subclass was, but also figuring out what my favorite subclass was in the first place. It was always a tight race between Voidwalker and Stormcaller, then Dawnblade shortly behind them too. I could never really give one the edge until I really did a lot of testing today on it. And throughout this video, you'll see all my tests and my conclusion at the end of the video. So let's get into it. So here at the beginning, I'm going to show off all the skill trees on all three subclasses. That way I don't have to go over them every single thing I do in the video. That way it doesn't take forever. So let's just look at some of the abilities. Stormcaller, all the clips I'll be using Pulse Grenade. Then you have your class abilities, jumps, whatever. And then top tree. I'll just hover over all the abilities real quick so you can see what they are. Pause the video if you need to. So when I refer to top tree, those are the abilities. When I refer to bottom tree, these are these abilities. Do that with all the subclasses real quick. Using solar. Here are the top tree abilities. And here are the bottom tree abilities. Then on Voidwalker, using Vortex for every single clip. Link. Here's top tree, which is the Bloom. And bottom tree, which is the Devour. Anyways, let's get right into this. First, we're going to look at grenades, and we're going to look at a few different things from each subclass. We're going to look at radius and duration of their best grenades. So you see right here, the first one is solar, and I'm allowing exotics in this video because this is the overall picture of which subclass is the best, which includes exotics that help it, so I'm using some bracers on solar grenades. Then, do the same thing with arc, and at the end of all three I'll recap real quickly. As you see, the radius on this one is a little bit bigger every time it pulses than solar was, but the duration is almost half as long. Now last, Vortex Grenade. The radius is huge all the time, as you see, and it lasts a little bit longer than pulse, but shorter than the solar. As you see, a side-by-side of all the radiuses and durations. Now we're going to look at what each grenade is good at for ad clear. The solar one is pretty good because it lasts so long, and enemies will end up walking into it, and since its radius is so huge, it's pretty easy for them to walk into it. Pulse, which is an extremely good grenade because you can just throw it in an area, it's on pulse, then whenever it hits something, it's unchained to nearby enemies. Then Vortex, I charge it and throw it, and as you see, it just destroys everything in that huge radius, and it almost damages the boss on the top level, which was pretty far away. Now we're going to look at single target damage between all the grenades. Shouldn't be surprised by solar winning this one since it lasts almost 3 seconds longer than Vortex and almost 4 seconds longer than Pulse. But they're kind of relatively close, even though there's a huge time gap between them. As you see right there, that one took them a little under a third. The two remaining ones will give them a little under half. Almost to a third. As you see right there. Which is pretty good since it lasts only half as long as solar. And Vortex. As you see, I'm like literally inside the radius, it's so big. Overall, I think I'm going to have to give the check mark to Voidwalker for grenade. Because between Pulse Grenade and Vortex are very similar. The Pulse one kind of has a bigger radius than you think because it chains to nearby enemies. But the Vortex does that by default, because its radius is so big, it doesn't need a chain, since it's already that big of a radius. But then with Bloom on top of that, where anything that dies from it will explode and chain to other enemies, just makes it that good of a grenade. And Solar, it's good and all, but it's not that big of a radius. Yes, it lasts a long time, but the only place that's really going to be good is at like throwing it at a boss or something, and I think most of the time you use your grenades on groups of ads. Up next, we're going to go ahead and look at melees. First with the solar one, which allows you to move faster and reload faster for 14 seconds. Probably 15 because I believe 0 counts as a full second. And it's an actual really noticeable reload speed and movement speed. Now it's only walk movement speed, not sprint movement speed, which is still nice. Stormcaller's melee is one that hits extended range and recharges your abilities on kill. As you see right there, it just gives you a little chunk of all abilities. And right here I'm trying to see how much of a range it actually has, and it's not really that much in PvE. Then on Voidwalker, you have the option between one that procs Devour, which is arguably the best perk in the game. So once you proc it, then you can get kills and chain it and get more and more health and more grenade. Then the other one, which is Bloom, will kill everything around it and recharge your grenade by almost 60%. Who doesn't love that? So, for the melees, I think I have to once again give it to Voidwalker, because the two options you have are amazing. Devour, best perk in the game. Bloom, best ad clear perk in the game. And plus it recharges your grenade, which will then mean you can have another grenade for even more ad clear. Now, the solar melee is really nice, and I'd give that a close second, but overall I have to give the edge to Voidwalker once again for melee category. Now we're going to take a look at supers and a few different ways for each one. First one is going to be ad clear on Dawnblade. And I don't think a lot of people know how to use Dawnblade efficiently. You want to mix in Phoenix Dives with accurate tosses of the actual blades, and not just spam it randomly. You want to be very accurate with them because you can chain it, and the more kills you get, the longer it lasts. And also, the Phoenix Dive, if you kill something with Phoenix Dive while on your super, it gives you more super energy back, but does not take any. So as long as you can kill something with Phoenix Dive over and over again, you can chain it forever almost. But it's a lot easier said than done. Next, we're going to look at Stormcaller. At first, you have Landfall, which is basically a Titan Slam, which is really nice if you're in the middle of a group of ads. Then, actual Chain Lightning that you shoot out of your hands is really nice for spreading to enemies, low tier ads, and killing them efficiently. The super is very good because it's a very mobile super. It shines the most when you're killing low tier ads that are spread out in like different sections and groups. You can shoot your Chain Lightning at a group, then go over to the next and do the same thing. And lastly, we have Nova Bomb, which is insanely good for groups of ads. Clearing them all instantly and exploding everything in a huge radius. As you see right there, it kills basically everything on top and bottom except a few things. Then, using the helmet that gives you super energy on Nova Bomb kills, you can basically chain your Nova Bomb into another Nova Bomb almost, as you see right here. Throw it at all those ads and just everything explodes. Then I have roughly 75% of my super back already. So, all in all, which one am I going to give the checkmark to this time? I think this time I have to give it a tie between Stormcaller and Voidwalker. They're both very, very good supers in their own rights. Stormcaller is really good at ad clear over a large area, where you can, burst down a few ads and move on to the next group and burst them down. But it's not very good for high health targets like Voidwalker is. Voidwalker will destroy everything in its path. The Dawnblade, it's not bad, it's just not quite up there with the other two. If you know how to use it correctly, you can get a lot of miles out of it, but I wouldn't put it up there. One of the best supers on Warlock. Now we're going to take a look at the last category, which I'm calling the unique ability of each subclass. On Solar, it's Phoenix Dive, which slams the ground and restores your health, and with your super active, does explosive damage. Pretty cool and different, and if you practice from really high up in the air, it's the fastest way to reach the ground, and also it's a nice way to get a little bit of health back. And on Stormcaller, it is Arc Soul, which is really fun, probably like one of the coolest things in the game. But you just have this little arc bot looking thing above you, just shooting at ads near you. It's not that terribly useful on anything but tier 1 ads, but it's still pretty cool. Then on Voidwalker, it is the fact that you can take one ability and get rid of it to proc a different ability, which on this one is Devour, where you consume your grenade, so you get rid of your grenade to then get full health and have this new ability, Devour, which will allow you to get more grenade energy back and health on every kill after that. So the whole concept of the Voidwalker unique ability is using one ability to make another ability better. As this one is just a bloom tree, I'm using my super energy to make my grenade better. Now obviously I held it a long time there, longer than you need to, just to show you that my super was going down. Anyways, for what I'm calling the unique ability of each class, I have to give it to Voidwalker once again. Now Stormcaller is a close second because Arc Soul is really good in a lot of situations and really fun to use. And Dawnblade is just a way worse version of Devour, so that's not even close to matching the other two classes. So time for final conclusions. I'm going to set up a chart here, and I'm going to assign a value for every single Dane, 1 through 4, 1 being bad, 2 being okay, 3 being good, and 4 being amazing. So let's go ahead and look. So for our first category, Grenade, I gave Dawnblade a 3, Stormcaller a 3, and Voidwalker a 4. For Melee, I gave it a 3, 1, and 4. Then for Super, I gave a 2, 4, then 4. Then for Unique, I gave a 1, 3, and 4. So overall, the totals are 9, 11, and 16, and Voidwalker is the best Warlock subclass, Stormcaller is second, and Dawnblade is third. That's my final opinion of all this testing I've done. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.